get other groups going all around the world, basically.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're called Vegan Action Global. So, yeah, just to introduce myself, my name's Terry, if you don't know from Emma's previous videos. I started a group 4 or 5 years ago called Vegan Action Melbourne, and we've grown that into Vegan Action Brisbane. We have Sydney, which do mainly disruptions. Brisbane do outreach. And I've managed, when I came to England in 2024 for the camp out, I met a few activists and we started Vegan Action Kent and Vegan Action Essex. Now,
Amazing.
if there's any vegans out there in the UK or anywhere in the world who are watching this, if you feel that you want to be part of a group, but there isn't a group near you to join, then as AV say, start your own. But also, I'm saying the same. Start your own Vegan Action Global. It would be your own Vegan Action, Montevideo or something in Paraguay, or I don't know why I thought of that. I think of South America. Vegan Action Dorset, Vegan Action Lancashire, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just a way of what my psyche behind it. I think the word is that humans do like to belong to a group. We're a bit of a herd, most of us anyway.
Yeah.
And it feels good being part of a group.
Yeah.
When you have a logo, like when I was in the UK, I noticed a lot of groups just existed on WhatsApp, and they gave themselves a name, but it didn't really mean anything without a page
Yeah.
with a logo, and people didn't really feel they belonged. They were just a bunch of friends who went out and did activism.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I'm asking, like basically, if anybody's interested in starting your own group, it's very cheap, very economical. It's get a few pictures together, print yourself off a Vegan Action Global. We have a rhino. A lot of people love this logo. It's bright. A rhino. It's the toughest herbivore out there, just about. I know it's food orientated, but they're a tough animal. Um, and
Yes.
then you become part of the Vegan Action family. You get support from all of us. We'll mentor people. We'll help. As Emma and I are helping each other. It's just being part of a bigger umbrella. We got people to lean on and suggestions and
Yeah. Just feeling like you're part of a group. Yeah, definitely. And we can
yeah. So that's my group promo anyway,
Yeah,
promotion.
we
So
can mention it at the end again before we leave, because
yeah,
we've got
okay.
26 people in the room now.
Oh,
Just something that I thought was worth mentioning, because I feel like we keep on saying that we're going to talk about vegetarianism every single time we do one of these, and it probably came at a right time, because this morning, as you know, I was in the vets with Ezra, and as I was waiting for him to get his stomach pumped, I was waiting in the seating area, and I saw basically a post. There's a group called Vegan Meals and Plant-Based Meals or something like that, a Facebook group, which obviously is only food orientated in terms of veganism. So I think there's probably a lot of people on there who are plant-based, thinking that they're vegan, but don't actually know what veganism is, like I was for a few years, as you know. And somebody just posted on there, how do you feel about if I got chickens and were to eat their eggs? And obviously, there's so many comments from people saying, "Oh, well, that's not harmful, so that's fine." And I'm like, I've literally gone through as many of those comments as possible, saying that's not what veganism is. Like, veganism is not seeing the animals as commodities. If you're taking their eggs, that is commodifying them. And it's not about harm reduction, it's about abolishing their exploitation and their slavery. And then I had at least one other person comment back saying, "Are you mental? Of course it's about harm reduction." And I said, "Okay, so was abolishing human slavery about harm reduction?" And then I said, "Would you take the breast milk from a human who was cognitively impaired, who didn't have the option to give you consent because there was no harm involved?"
yeah, get them pregnant
Like,
first.
there's such a huge misconception of what veganism actually is. So maybe you could just touch on that a little bit and maybe like educate on what veganism actually is, even though we sound like a broken record. and maybe touch on vegetarianism and why vegetarianism isn't enough, even if vegetarians think that they're doing enough, it isn't enough, and you're still exploiting animals.
So, well, just to live by the vegan principle, the logic of that, which is that the ethical principle that that humans should live without exploiting non-human animals, or words to that effect. Just that phrase alone should explain why backyard chickens are wrong.
Exactly.
Because you're taking what's not yours. Every chicken farm started as a small farm. I learned this from Earthling Ed a few years ago. One of the videos he answered, backyard eggs.
Yeah.
Every farm started as small. I think we touched on it the other week. If you've got a farm with 10,000 animals and you split it up, you got 10 farms with 1,000.
Yeah.
You know. So back to the backyard chickens that people have got, if they've rescued them, my questions would go deeper. And you say, oh, that's fantastic, great. Most people leave it there. I would say, but okay, so what if your chickens get sick? What do you do?
Yeah.
Do you take them to the vet, or do you bang them on the head and eat them that night?
Yeah.
Like you still treat them like a pet. It's how far they've taken it.
Yeah.
Do they let the chickens just roam around and grow old? Where did they come from? If they came from a farm and you rescued them, if you're still using their eggs, then you haven't really rescued them. You've just changed their address. They're still producing for you.
Exactly.
That was a Joey Carbstrong answer. You just changed their address.
Okay.
They're still friends.
There's someone in here who said that they're vegetarian. Oh no, wait, they're being rude. They just said vegetarian.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so true, because I don't know if I've told you this before, but so I don't speak to my parents that much anymore, but when I do speak to my dad, like, he has transitioned to, I would say, like 98% plant-based. It sounds like the only thing that he still consumes is his chicken's eggs. And I used to say my dad has rescued chickens, but ex-factory chickens. And now I'm starting to realize that it's not really, they're not really, obviously they've gone from a dire situation to a situation where they're unfortunately still being used because eggs are being taken. And it's so difficult, isn't it? Because like, my dad is the kindest person in the world, and I just don't, like, he would never see it like that. But then it's hard to explain to someone that is still actually exploitation. Like, I don't mean to be a twat about it, but you're taking something from someone who can't give consent to you. Yes, you're looking after them, but that doesn't make it okay. Like, if a disabled person was in a care home being cared for, and you were to just keep on taking something from their body that wasn't theirs, if you were
keep getting her pregnant
off their hair, for example, and using their hair for something, just as a random example, like, that wouldn't be okay. So it's still exploitation. Yeah, and like you said, it's
so with your dad, I mean, all you can do is explain that what he's doing is not vegan.
I think,
and he understands, as long as he understands the vegan principle, and he understands he's not, then I would just say to him, well, Dad, as long as you know you're living in hypocrisy, it is
exactly.
hypocritical.
I think I will.
So there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. He's your father.
No.
You can't. I mean, I don't think you're willing to disown him because he uses backyard chickens. He already has them.
It's a weird situation because, like, I would, for example, with my mum, like, she keeps on saying I can't give up cheese, and that is just from, like, a purely selfish point of view. Whereas my dad, like, it's hard because I know that what my dad, they're both still eating their eggs, and I know that that's still exploitation. But I'm like, if that's the best that I can get with them, then that's all. That's what I'll take. But I would never take that position with anyone speaking in the street, for example. Do you get what I mean? Whereas with my mum, with the cheese situation, she's like, I can't give up cheese, and she's buying cheese from a
we can't change everyone, Emma. Like we just can't. I mean, I'm learning how to check a couple of comments, and it's just ridiculous.
Someone just practicing psychiatrist. I see we have a lot to unpack here. How do we believe that you're a practicing psychiatrist? But also, imagine telling someone who's just trying to get people to respect animals that they're insane, and you're literally forcing animals to be exploited, forced into bullfights, forced into having their skin removed so that you can wear their skin. Like, that is the definition of insanity, and we're the crazy ones. Like, seriously, it's just mind-blowing.
So on that logic, the slavery abolitionists were wrong.
Yeah, exactly. They were the ones who were technically seen as the crazy ones when they started speaking up, and they were seen as crazy.
I guess they were. Yeah. Well, that person who wrote that would have been the same person 200 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
We will prove you wrong. Whoever you are, we will prove you wrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
You will be vegan. You will be vegan one day. If you're young enough, you'll be vegan one day.
100%. 100%. At least the bare minimum, you'll be on a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
I reckon if you're like under 18 and you live till 80 or 90, let's say, there is, I would guarantee.
Before that, Emma.
Do you reckon?
It's before that.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
I think dairy. I think the vast majority of dairy will be over in the next 5 years in the West. I think I did a couple of posts a couple of weeks ago about the dairy industry is collapsing around the world. It is.
Yeah.
Canada, US, the UK is losing money hand over fist.
Yeah.
New Zealand, which is one of the biggest dairy in the West, Australia they are all losing money.
Yeah.
The UK government will stop bailing out the dairy industry eventually.
Yeah.
They did it with the coal industry. They did it with the car industry. They just will not keep putting money into a failing industry.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not worth it for them. And the demand massively. Like, you at the plant-based section in a supermarket compared to even like 10 years ago, you know, like a lot of people who were vegan and eating a plant-based diet 10 years ago said that the change is absolutely massive.
Look at the milk shelf.
Just going to
look at the cartons of milk, because our milk or the plant-based milks don't require to be refrigerated because they're not animal based, you know, and they don't go off in 3 days if they're not in a fridge or 2 days.
Transport of it as well.
While we're talking about that, it is something I've noticed. Like, I've been around a little while, Emma, and you know, like when I was your age, God, I never thought I'd actually say that to someone when I was your age. You know, like I would buy a carton of cow milk from my local supermarket or whatever, and the use by date was 4 or 5 days, right?
And now it's
like
like
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Crazy.
But what have they done to it to do that? You know, like,
just disgusting.
So, and I did work in. I was a casual back 20 odd years ago, and I got put into a milk factory. They had the nerve to call it a dairy, and I pulled up at this just massive complex of machines and tanks, and like, it's not a fucking dairy, it's just a factory.
Yeah, exactly.
And tanker after tanker would come in with cow milk, and I was part of basically the process out the back, unloading and loading trucks.
Right. Okay.
And I did work on the floor sometimes. I saw what they put into each 1,000. It was like a concoction of,
oh my God, really?
Cocktails that went into it.
Really?
It was pink, and it was pink on occasions. I saw pink milk. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was coming out the tanker, you know, like it's coming into the mixing area. It would spill on the floor. Like your uniform was all white, but with gumboots, welly boots on, because the floor was continually wet. You had to have water running all the time, or the milk, because it was always spilling, the cartons would move, or, you know, it'd be an overspill. And it was always on the floor. And of course, it's got that phlegmy, slippery shit in it. You couldn't let dry on the tiles, and it had to, it's got a cleanliness standard, so there was constant water running on the floor,
Right.
and just milk everywhere being spilt. And but I saw it coming in pink. I
Really.
never took any notice of it. It was white by the time it went out, but by the
Yeah.
time it went into a carton, but that was 25 years ago.
Yeah, now it's even
Um,
worse. Like you said, the expiry date is even longer. Like
mm,
imagine how many chemicals and disgusting,
yeah.
just how much it's processed. And yeah, that's
But
why the
you look at when you go in the old days, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when you went in to buy your long life milk, which was in a cardboard carton on a shelf, an aisle shelf, that section was a meter wide with a few different brands of long life milk and maybe 2 rows of soy milk or rice milk,
yeah,
which I never noticed.
yeah,
Now it's 20 meters or 10 meters of milks.
yeah,
And we're going to use the word milk because coconut milk's been around forever, soy milk's been around forever.
yeah.
They're trying to take the word milk off us.
Still
You
gonna
got
get
to know
it's
you
still
you got to know the industry's worried when they're worried about the name of a product, for
that's
fuck's sake.
exactly it. Like I see it as a good thing because they're feeling so threatened and they still have all
Yeah,
this money so that they can throw money at these things. But that isn't
yeah,
going to change people learning the reality of what happens.
yeah.
And that isn't going to change the demand. Like people are still going to be buying those things. Nobody's going to go, oh, well, that's not called milk anymore. So I'm going to go back to exploiting cows for their breast milk. Like, what the?
Yeah.
It's
I,
insane.
I- this is something like Emma. I like to do things, throw things in reverse, as you've learned. And a couple of years ago, I saw a mate, and I was talking about the cow slave industry. And I said, look, Richard, you imagine that you've drunk oat milk, soy milk, almond milk all your life, and then you're sitting on the couch one night, and this ad comes on for a cow,
Yeah,
and they're milking this cow and squirting it into a glass, and they're going to try and sell it to you. I said, what would you think? And
yeah,
and he's just, and I said, have a think about it now. If they tried to market it today, you'd think they're fucking insane.
absolutely mental.
Like you're a grown man. It's a cow. They're a cow. They're not your mum.
Yeah,
You know, and this is a guy who drank. He said, He drinks 3 liters of cow milk a day.
3 liters.
Yeah,
Jesus, really?
and oh god, he's in such a mess.
Oh my
I
God.
hate to say it.
Health
I hate to say it live. I won't give his surname, obviously, but
Jesus,
he's and he's
really?
he's about 5 years younger than me,
Yeah.
and
God.
I'm losing friends left, right, and centre.
Same, same, same. You just, I mean,
Uh,
hear
no,
about
no, no, Emma. I mean, they're dead,
you
or yeah. Remember, I'm double your age, right? I'm losing.
because you're
It,
talking about animals and like, the activism that you do is, but genuinely, I'm losing friends, not losing
yeah,
friends, but I just don't want to speak to them anymore.
no, no,
Oh, like
no.
I've just lost interest. Like I've been meaning to meet a few of them for quite a while, and I'm like, I just can't even bring myself to be around people who are okay with exploiting animals, even though,
I've got.
go on.
I come up with this saying a few years ago, like what you just said, backs up what you say, that I just don't want to speak to them anymore. And a few years ago, I came up with this: the longer I'm vegan, the more I'm vegan.
Yeah, yeah,
Even though there's only 100%,
yeah, yeah,
but the more I'm steadfast. I don't want to waste my time on non-vegans.
exactly. Yeah, it's
I've got
ridiculous.
a new workmate, and he wants to chit chat and be friends, and I just don't.
Yeah, unless you want to talk about animals, and unless you're going to stop
No, well,
about animals.
I always keep from them. He doesn't know I'm vegan yet, so I won't let him know until he needs to know. Doesn't need
Yeah,
to know. So
yeah, exactly.
um,
Yeah. Yeah, so how old are you again? If you just tell everyone in the chat, if you don't
I'm
mind.
63. 63.
63. So say if you live till don't know, 85, so you got another 22 years, What do you think realistically we're going to see in terms of change in terms of animal exploitation? So, you know, like we like to talk about the non-food industry.
Greyhound racing.
So,
Greyhound racing would be finished, I think, in the next 5 years around the world in Western. I talk Western countries. We
yeah,
can't really judge what's going on in third world.
yeah,
I don't think. I should say this. I don't think we'll ever have a 100% vegan world. It's a
yeah,
bit like we'll never have a world without slavery or racism
yeah. But it
on
will
it.
be
There's,
genuine,
there's always,
not accept.
and it only really gets accepted when laws are changed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I reckon in the next 5 years, the cow slave industry will be over in the Western world.
In the next how many years?
5, I reckon.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
5, maybe 10.
yeah,
It'll still be dropping. I mean, they're bailing out farmers. I read the media. Like they're losing thousands a day.
right,
Um,
exactly. That,
and look, the fur industry, probably the next 10 years, that'll be gone.
yeah, definitely.
Um, Greyhound racing, horse racing, that'll take a bit longer because there's much more money in it.
Yeah,
There's many more influential people involved in it.
yeah,
Maybe 10 years for horse racing.
yeah,
Bullfighting. Bullfighting is being reduced and modified in many countries.
yeah.
Mexico, there was I think it was a bit of a false meme went around about a year ago saying Mexico City has banned bullfighting, but it's no, they banned the killing in the bullfight.
Right. Yeah,
So they have the fight. They make it's all dramatic with the cake. They're still exploiting the cow, the
yeah,
bull, and he probably gets eaten in the end or killed and eaten in the end. But they're not doing it, killing them for entertainment. So it's modified. Those are steps, Like I know we want them to abolish it, but there is some cities and countries. What was it? Colombia, I think I mentioned last time. Colombia has just banned altogether trophy hunting. It is now illegal.
yeah,
It'll still go on. It'll
yeah.
still go on, but then now they're poachers, so now they'll be punished.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Fox
It's a
hunting.
bit like rape.
Fox hunting in the UK will be the next year or two, won't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
But it will still go on. It's
yeah,
just that they can be held to account a
exactly.
bit more.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there'll still be people eating dogs. There's people eating dogs in England and in Australia. There's
yeah,
people there doing it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because there's
Don't kid
like
yourself. Don't kid yourself. It's not happening.
yeah,
It's not even illegal. It's not even illegal anyway.
yeah,
So, I mean, when I say that in Australia, it blows their mind, and it is illegal. Sorry, it's legal in all of Australia for one state.
mm,
They're the hypocrites.
yeah.
It's illegal there. The rest of the states are consistent. If you're going to eat one, you might as well eat them all. It's just eat none.
I said
Just eat
circuses.
none would be
Oh,
better.
good.
But we're talking about food a bit. Let's get on to slavery and
Well, best
why.
circuses as well. They'll probably be in the West,
Yeah,
but abolished in the next few years, which I agree with.
yeah.
So, if there's anyone in the chat that's actually open to what we're talking about and open to veganism, open to not exploiting animals, then let us know if you've got any serious questions. Because obviously, there's a lot of great trolls in here which clearly have nothing better
Interest.
to do, which I always find quite mind-blowing. But yeah, if there's anyone actually in the chat who's genuinely interested and open-minded about it, then let us know.
Can,
Yeah,
can
so
I? Can I?
about veganism isn't about just not eating animals. Like, so you can
Right.
say I eat animals, but it's not just go on. Sorry. Yeah.
So, this is where I'd like to talk about where I've been going in the last week or two.
Yeah.
That little quote. I'd like you. Yeah, we'll chat about it later, Emma. But I'd like you to make a little meme up for me with it.
Yeah. Okay.
But veganism. This is for the trolls. I would actually like to talk about what veganism isn't.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about the stance you are on. You've chosen to take.
Yeah.
Veganism is an ethical principle that humans should live without exploiting animals.
Yeah.
So what's the opposite of that? Let's put that out there. What's the opposite of an ethical principle against the exploitation of animals.
Yeah.
Let's see if any trolls can come up with a valid opposite of it.
Yeah.
So maybe just leave that there for a minute or two.
Yeah.
See what they're all typing away.
Yeah.
But but then my new little video last night that nobody, well, it's attracted a bit of attention, which was veganism is not about what you do, wear, or eat. It's who you are. Are
Yeah.
you an oppressor or are you a liberator?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Which mindset do you have?
Yeah. Yeah.
An oppressor mindset or a liberator?
Yeah, so I was talking about the horse video earlier, weren't we? And so basically I put my reels out as a trial reel first so that it goes to the non-following audience. So that's why you can't see it, but it's out there. So once I post my feed, I'll tag you in it. But that's what it says on top of that video. It says, you're either an oppressor, in brackets non-vegan, or a non-oppressor, which is vegan. Like, so it's not about a diet, it's not about just what you eat. We're talking about
who you are
towards non-human animals. Like, you either think that it's okay to enslave and exploit animals or you don't. So somebody keeps on trying to get my attention. Clearly, like, this is obviously somebody who maybe doesn't have that many friends, because he keeps saying the same thing. So he's saying, your pet dog, so he's not my pet, he's a companion, he's my best friend. I've got two of them and they're not pets. Pet's quite an oppressive word to use. He didn't give you consent to own it, so he's not an it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He's not an object. So let's just get that right. Like, this is the oppressive language that you're using, and this is why it proves that you don't respect animals. Animals are not objects, so they're not it. They are they.
Someone.
He, she, they, or them. Like, it's
someone.
pretty easy. If you wouldn't call a human an it, then why would you call an other animal an it? And that just shows your oppressive mindset towards animals. So animals, unfortunately, some animals have been domesticated for thousands of years by humans, hundreds or thousands, depending on the species. Unfortunately, some species that we've domesticated need to be looked after by humans, otherwise they wouldn't survive on their own. I unfortunately exploited my first dog and his mother because I bought him from a breeder, but this is before I understood animal exploitation. And I've rescued another dog, but just like farmed animals get rescued by sanctuaries, some of these animals need to be looked after and to find sanctuary somewhere. And it is now scientifically proven that cats and dogs thrive on a plant-based cat and dog food, especially because of all the crap that gets put into animal-based cat and dog food. So it's actually more unethical, not only because you'd be murdering hundreds more animals to feed your own, but also because for the well-being of the dogs, it's actually more beneficial for them. But I'm also not okay with murdering other animals just to feed my own when I absolutely don't need to. So I hope that clears that up for you. I'm not gonna, if you're only here to try and troll, which it's not a case of if you disagree with us, you're trolling. It's a case of you're not open-minded, you're using oppressive language, and it's clear that you're not actually open to not exploiting animals. Like Terry always says, if you don't want to stop exploiting animals, we can't help you. And that's the end of it. Move on. Go somewhere else. We want to talk to open-minded people. Like, we can't, you probably have this mentality as well, but we can't change everyone. And
they are choosing. You are choosing your position. So stick with it.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't make you vegan.
Yeah.
We're not forcing you to be vegan.
Yeah.
And I was just responding to a comment because somebody said my head was shiny, so I was just giving it a buff.
I wondered what you would do.
Well,
Oh my God, the types of stuff that people come out with, honestly, like, so obvious that you're just triggered because we're holding up the mirror to you. Like, there is no way.
We're both unhealthy.
What? Sorry.
I saw another comment. You look both unhealthy.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Well, you post a photo, you email, or even better, put a public photo of yourself, and then we'll compare it with how healthy we are compared to you. And I can guarantee you're probably sat at home with a beer belly, like with
Even without seeing them, I know you are overweight. If you're a male, you're overweight and need probably what is it, a C cup bra.
Yeah.
I'll put money on it. And you know why? Because 70 to 80% of the Western world look like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's you can say, you can attack us all you like. Emma does 10-minute handstands.
Yeah.
And I'll walk outside and do 10 pull-ups on my bar, and I'm 63.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll drop down here if you want and do 20 push-ups on camera if you like. It just.
And these people who like to hide behind their phone.
Yeah.
Like they would never be the ones to publicly post videos or photos of themselves. No. They're the first ones to sit there and say, "You're unhealthy. Yeah. You've got a bald head. You've got this, that, and the other." It's like
sorry, dull bit. I don't get to look at myself in the lounge room, Emma. So not normally. I got four LED lights up there above me, right? It's of course it looks shiny, you donkey. No, donkeys are smarter than you, mate. Why did I say that?
It's like, as if, do they really think that you're going to be affected by somebody stating the complete obvious? It's like, oh, by the way, Emma, you've got dark blonde hair. It's like, okay, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. I love the one, did you go bald when you went vegan? I just love it. I know we touched on it before, but yeah, I did. I was 53 and I had a massive afro, right? That's, and then I went vegan on I think it was a Wednesday about 6 or 7 o'clock after dinner, and I didn't eat anything. I just saw some videos and I said to my girlfriend, we're going vegan, and we went to bed, had a great night. Woke up in the morning and my afro was just gone. It was all over the pillow. My girlfriend's hair, she had lovely, thick, long hair. It was just everywhere. It was just, we're both bald. We hadn't even eaten any vegan food. Just made the decision and
you went bald straight away.
Like this, yeah.
Oh, it's just absolutely insane. Like the stuff that people will say to make themselves feel better. What the fuck? Yeah.
Is that good enough? Is that a good enough answer for them? That's why every bald person out there in the world is vegan. Why don't you ask those members of your family who are bald how long they've been vegan?
And actually, a vegan that does have hair is just wearing a wig.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, yours is a wig. What are you talking about? Yours is a wig, Emma. Stop making stuff up. That's not yours. You hang it up when you go to bed.
So I wonder what. Oh, hi, Alex. Yeah, watch Dominion on YouTube, guys. So if there is anyone actually open-minded, we always say watch Gary Yourofsky's speech as well. So onto YouTube, it's got millions of views. There's a famous speech called "The Best Speech You Will Ever Hear" or "The Most Important Speech You Will Ever Hear" by Gary Yourofsky. He's one of the most amazing. I don't even like saying amazing because I know that if he heard that he would just it's not about
educational.
Yeah, it's just purely we're all just doing it for the animals, and it almost feels a bit cringe sometimes when people say, "Oh, you're doing such an amazing job," and I'm like, I'm literally just doing what I think everyone should be doing. Yeah. But there's a speech on YouTube called the most important speech you'll ever hear. So that if there's anyone actually open-minded in here, then
or the best. I think the best speech or the most important, something like that.
I think the original one's called "The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear," but then he reposted it onto his own YouTube. Right. It's on his YouTube as the most important speech you will ever hear. But yeah, so Terry and I really try to divert a lot of the attention away from food because it's a massive misconception that veganism is the diet.
Can I put forward the opposite of veganism? They've had a couple of minutes to think about it. the opposite of veganism is an unethical position that humans are in favor of exploiting non-human animals.
Exactly.
And this is where the non-vegans who are trying to feel tough, call me gay or something, and bald, shiny head and all that. Do you realize that by objectifying animals, whichever animals you've objectified for your use purpose,
Yeah.
that means anybody else can objectify any other animal. Because you have turned them into objects. You are the ones that have turned them into a commodity and a product.
Yeah.
You do not see them as individuals. That's the difference between vegan and non-vegan.
Yeah.
So you follow the unethical position in favor of exploiting non-human animals. That means any. That means any. So you trolls sitting at home there in your lounge on your couch, who might see bullfighting or someone kick a dog. What was it? Who was the football player kicked the cat? Zuma.
I don't know. Did they? What? And it was in the news.
Every Englishman was all over the place, wanting to kill this guy because he kicked his cat. It was 2 or 3 years ago. Kurt Zuma.
Right.
One of your trolls should be able to tell me.
Yeah.
Tell us. He kicked a cat. Well, any non-vegan, you've lost the right. You've forfeited it to criticize that.
Yeah, exactly.
Kurt Zuma saw his cat as an object, like a football.
Yeah.
That's what he saw. So he kicked them. You see cows, pigs, chickens, sheep as objects. You have them exploited, used, and killed for your purpose.
Yeah.
You see them as an object. You see them, you've turned them so much into an object and a commodity and a product. You buy them with a barcode on them. How disgusting. You put a barcode on someone's flesh.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? Yeah.
And you have no right to criticize bullfighting, trophy hunting, rodeos, horse racing, even greyhound. You've got no right to criticize those.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's when you realize you're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just be against all forms of exploitation, not just some. So it's just about not seeing other animals as objects, because that's what we're literally conditioned to believe from a young age. You know, like, because I genuinely believe that we are all born with a vegan mindset until we're conditioned out of it. So it's just about going against that conditioning and going back to basics of what we all felt about animals when we were actually born until we were conditioned to believe that it's normal to treat them as objects and to objectify them, exploit them, see them as commodities. Because when you see them as an individual, it's just easy to work out that they shouldn't be exploited. So I just want to go back to this one message just above, because Nasia is in there in her, you know.
Yeah. Hello, Nasia. Hello, Nasia. She's a legend, that woman.
Yeah, she's amazing. I hope I get to meet her at some point. But just above,
Get on a megaphone. She tells it how it is.
Exactly. Yeah, she's got our sort of mentality, hasn't she? But just above, she kind of answered it, but I'd just like you to touch on it a little bit, because this person maybe is slightly open-minded. They said, is milk from free-range cows okay for drinking? Answer that one.
It's not yours to take.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that mean? It's just a label.
Yeah.
For an exploited slave.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Would it be okay to have somebody living in nice, luxury apartment, but they're not allowed to leave once they're home, and they've got to come and work for you for free, and they go home and there's a meal cooked and that's it? You're treating them wonderfully.
Yeah.
It's their milk for their baby. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're not a cow.
Yeah.
How hard is it? You're not a cow.
Yeah. It's not ours.
And they are not machines.
Yeah. Not ours.
Where's the baby? There's so many questions. Where's the baby? Where's the bull? Where's all the old cows on that farm? They're all dead. They're all chopped up in burgers.
Yeah. Can we take your milk in a free range way? Whoever this is, or could we take human breast milk in a free range way? Like, free range is just humane washing, as is organic, grass-fed, all of those bullshit terms. And even in terms of like leather and wool products, like I see it all the time on those products as well. You know, I saw it the other day. I can't remember what it was on, but ethically sourced wool or leather, like that is again, it's an oxymoron, because you can't take someone else's skin ethically. Like that doesn't even make sense. And it's the same with milk. Like these terms are just brainwashing you to believe that it's acceptable to exploit animals, but just do it in a nice way. Like you can't exploit someone in a nice way. It's an oxymoron. Yeah, so the answer is no. There's absolutely no way of taking someone's milk ethically, ever. Like taking something that's not ours from somebody else is never okay. Are you laughing at the comments?
There's one. I don't know if you're looking at the same one. Yeah, I'm wearing animals right now.
Oh my God. He's wearing.
Yeah, my underpants are made of cow skin. I haven't got any socks on, and my t-shirt is made of I think it's kangaroo skin. And yeah, my jeans are made from, you know, the cotton animal, I think, you know. My belt is made from some sort of fiber. Yeah, I'm covered in dead animals.
Just like, it's just so mind-blowing what these people will say to try and make themselves feel better. Like I don't know what they get out of it even. Do you?
Well, it's to feel better. It's to feel better. That's all. They want to point their finger back. They know we are pointing the finger at them, and they want to point it back. So as long as they know that they can't point their finger at people who are kicking a dog or dog fighting or dog and cat meat trade, as long as they know that,
Yeah,
I'm quite happy. I'm really pleased with tonight's. You know, like you follow the unethical position that humans should exploit non-human animals. That's what you are when you're not vegan. You're an oppressor.
yeah,
And you're choosing that. What blows me away, like you hit it well in a video the other night. Like they're choosing this position, right? We touched on it earlier. We can't force them to be vegan.
Yeah, exactly.
And yet they're pushing back on something we didn't even know they exist. You know, they come on our page. I've been told the video I put out last night, fuck off vegans. How do I fuck off from my own page? Can someone explain that? I didn't even know you existed, and you come to me and tell me to F off. I mean, it's like, ask yourself, does that sound right? You know, like, I don't go to a basketball post if it comes through. Do you know why I don't get any basketball posts? It's because I don't comment on them.
Exactly. So they must.
But if one did, I would not go fuck off basketballers. You know, I just scroll by it or press the hide ad or whatever it is. You know, so they are triggered, as we know. We always cover a thing, you know, something we did last time. We got different viewers, I guess.
Yeah. One who said, so Anwarajah, have you eaten fried chicken? It's out of this world, vegan. So I just want to ask you, why are you only talking about the animals that you exploit for food? Like, are you so addicted to their flesh that you can't take your mind off just their flesh? Or why are you not talking about, oh, have you ever worn a pair of leather boots, vegans? They're so comfortable. Or have you ever worn a wool jumper? It's, you know, out of the world. Like, why? Serious question. Like, why are you only talking about the animals that we exploit for food? Is it because you think that you're going to be triggering us and we've never heard this kind of stuff before? And you think that you're so original that it's actually going to bother us? Or is it because you're super, super addicted to their flesh and you just can't even take your mind off food? Like, because I just don't understand why people can't understand. So that same person said, what about protein? We can't find them on trees and leaves. So I don't trees and leaves. Like, seriously, do you actually think, go on to my other videos, go on to my Instagram and look at what I can do with my body, and tell me that I'm eating trees, because it's absolutely insane. We just go to the source of protein, which is meant for our bodies. You filter them through animals. We just go to the actual source. Like, we get them from very valuable sources of protein, such as tofu and seitan. It's really not hard. You could literally just do a very quick Google search, and that doesn't tell me why you're only talking about animal flesh.
Do you know, when I was in the UK and I was actually living out of a borrowed car for 3 or 4 weeks when I went to the camp out, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I had a few days at a sanctuary. I was at a camp out, camping and stuff.
It gave you inspiration to maybe go and live in a van at some point.
Yeah, it was a sort of bit of a practice, you know, like, can I do that? And I did. I enjoyed it. It was good, and it was just a 4-door sedan thing, you know, but it was doable for a few days at a time.
Yeah.
And I bought these loaves of bread from Tesco. It was like a half loaf because it would go off if I bought a full size.
Yeah.
I didn't have a fridge or anything. And I think it was a pumpkin seed. And after I got about halfway through and I'm waiting for me toast, you know, to pop up, and I'm reading the nutrition thing, and it was something like 9 grams of protein per slice. And I looked on the can of baked beans that I was putting on top of it, and it's 12 or 15 or something for a can of Heinz baked beans.
Yeah.
So I was getting like 35 grams or 30 grams of protein for baked beans on 2 bits of toast. You know, like, for fuck's sake.
Like, it's
Protein.
not hard. It's really not hard.
Where the fuck does an elephant get it from? Where the fuck does the rhinos get it from? Fuck. But it's a deflection. I wonder if, Emma, let's say I used to be a trophy hunter, right?
Yeah.
Going out shooting lions and rhinos. That's why I got a rhino logo.
Yeah, right.
You know, and giraffes and zebras and elephants. Let's say I used to do that. I wonder if they'd criticize me for doing that or be grateful I stopped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's because it's what's currently the norm and what's currently cool to agree with or disagree with. You're just following what everyone else is doing, but at some point in the future, it's going to be not cool to exploit animals for food, and then you're just going to start agreeing with everyone else. Like, just stop. This is what Gary says as well. Stop following the crowd. It'll always lead you in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And look how horse racing attendances have dropped off generally around the world. It is slowly shifting. More and more people, like in Melbourne, every year for the Melbourne Cup, it's the first Tuesday of November, I think. When I first came to Australia, it's a public holiday. They used to have a sweep at work everywhere. There's money thrown around at work on the Melbourne Cup day for the race. And I remember chipping in, you know, having a go. I went to one of them, you know, it was one of the things you do. Yeah, I supported a horse race. Yeah, God, oh my God, maybe I should keep doing it, you know, like I should go and stab cows in the throat too, because I went to a horse race once. Well, that's their logic, isn't it? You know, why stop if you did it once? You know, like, right, for fuck's sake. So, you know, but now I tell you, the last 10 years, Emma, there's no sweeps, there's no bets going on at work, no one talks about it.
Really?
Workplaces, they went like 20 years ago. The cup's on a Tuesday, right? So everywhere was open Monday, closed Tuesday for a public holiday. So many people took sick days and took a 4-day weekend. Workplaces basically just shut down from the Friday till the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because there was no point opening on a Monday because no one had come to work.
Really?
Not because they're partying because of the race, but because they've gone camping for the weekend or they've gone to the beach for the weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
No one gives a shit about the race anymore. The attendances in like the last 6 or 8 years have gone down from 135,000 guests estimate on the race day to about 80, steadily come down. COVID, they stopped it for 2 years. The first year after COVID, it went up a little bit. And now it's on a steady decline. It's down around 80,000
That's so good.
on the day. So
Yeah.
go back 6 years, 130,000,
Yeah.
6 or maybe 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Less people are going. It
That's,
means we're winning, non-vegans. And
yeah.
some of you agree with us on horse racing. You're sitting there, you agree that trophy hunting is wrong.
Yeah.
The dog and cat meat trade is wrong. You agree with us on that.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
But you won't even admit that on here.
But,
I bet none of you will admit that you're against trophy hunting and say you agree with us on some levels.
yeah. Exactly. It's
You
only.
are just anti-vegan because you still think it's about food.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
you're an oppressor.
If you'd admit that it's not about food, then, like you
Yeah.
said months ago, then it's harder to admit to the principle. It's easier to deny the principle if
Yeah.
you know, just keep focusing on the food and make it a
It's
diet.
how they rationalize it. They rationalize it to themselves with that. It's, you know, like I saw a video Danny Ishay did where this guy's he's eating a big steak and chips, and he says, you know, vegans are stupid. If there was a World War III, you'd have to eat animals. I'd eat him, right? If there was World War III and there was nothing else to eat, I'll eat me mates,
Yeah.
you know, but it hasn't broken out.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole
You know,
point.
like,
We're not in
it's
that.
the whole point of it. So yeah, and I actually outreached a guy in the city that is the first non-vegan, dare I say it live, I actually apologized to because I got it wrong. Right?
Right.
Like we were in the rain, we just got a roof over us a little bit. We're getting a bit wet. A bit wet. I just come out a bit of a stress with an idiot troll.
Right.
And this guy walked by, and the first thing he said to my mate Vic was, you know, something like, well, I eat animals in case the shit goes down one day. So just in case one day there's an apocalypse, he's eating animals in 2026. So Vic sort of answered him, you know, with a you know, a right response, you know, like, well, but when is the apocalypse or something like that? And then I sort of interrupted because I do that, and I said, so let me get this clear. You're eating animals every single day today just because one day the ship might go down. That's what he said. The ship might go down. And he just turned to me and he went, fucking hell, man. He got really upset. How dare you? And I said, mate, I'm just trying to get it clear. And then he actually understood what I just said because I've made it clear to him. Even though he wanted to punch me at first, he ended up doing a fist pump and a handshake and declaring vegan because what he'd been doing is saying that was his belief that rationalized it for him.
Mm.
He ended up nearly breaking down because he said he knew it was wrong,
Right.
and he had a daughter with him, and he knew he was being an idiot by saying that as he walked by, but he didn't walk by and he stopped.
Yeah.
Many people will say that shit and then just walk by. And that's what I thought I was responding to. I thought he was just going to walk off,
Yeah.
but he actually didn't. And he was really open. And once he understood the proper message that if you feel this is wrong,
Yeah.
you could just stop. You
Yeah.
know, and we explained the mindset to shift, that just to put your actions into practice
Yeah.
of your morals, to practice your morals,
Yeah.
and do it for your little girl. Your little girl, she said right to us, she was about 8 or something. She said, she said to her dad, I don't want to hurt animals. And I just said, man, you've got to do it. You got to do it for her.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh.
And we ended up, like, I had to ask him after. I said, are we back on the right level now? Because I apologized and I said, well, man, I thought you were going to say that shit and then walk away. I said, and we hear that crap every single day.
Yeah.
And he said, well, and he actually admitted that's what he tells himself. And I said, mate, it's still happening for you.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
the shit hasn't gone down.
Exactly. Whether you think about it and it's not happening or not, it's still happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody said just above, going back to the trophy hunting and bullfighting, somebody said obviously racing dogs and trophy hunting is way more exploitative. So I think, you know, you said this before as well, but that's because you're not actively participating in those things.
Yeah.
Like, do you think if you were not participating in those things and not paying for animals to be forced into gas chambers and slaughterhouses so that you can eat their flesh and their secretions, you would be taking that position with all forms of exploitation? Do you want to say something
It's
about that as well?
well, my favorite quote: "It's easy to be against an injustice that you don't participate in, and it
Exactly.
takes courage to stand up to one that you do." It's easy, isn't it, to point your finger at the dog and cat meat trade and trophy hunting? Yeah, you don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't go and do it.
Yeah.
Maybe the people who go trophy hunting, they might do the the corny troll argument when they say, we kill and eat one cow a year. Those people living out in Africa who are trophy hunting, they may well kill one cow in a year. They might point their finger at you and say, "Man, you pay for pigs to get their testicles cut off and then shoved in a gas chamber. You're not pointing your finger at me."
Exactly. It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
You
Yeah.
are both doing it for pleasure, your own pleasure. It's what I touched on.
Yeah.
It's if you've got a chosen group of animals that you want to exploit, use, and kill.
Yeah.
If you see those animals as objects, you've already commodified them,
Yeah.
and they're objects. If those are objects to you, any other animal is an object to them to do whatever they want.
Mhm.
That's why you've lost the right. I hope you're still there listening. You've
Yeah.
lost the right to criticize trophy hunting. It isn't different levels of depravity. It's depraved or it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Exactly.
a moral baseline. There's a moral baseline, and veganism is the moral baseline.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Anything below that is immoral.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the
And like you,
only way to just know that you're not exploiting animals, full stop. And I was just thinking
yeah,
back, like, when I found out about all this and went vegan last year, I'm just thinking of, you know, I would never ever have been able to live with myself and live with the hypocrisy that I would have been living in, continuing to do those things to animals, knowing what was actually happening and knowing how wrong it was and knowing how against my own values it was. So
yeah.
what I just can't understand is like how these people can live with themselves so obviously in so much discomfort. Because
The
most
amount of knowledge,
people, the
the
troll,
the knowledge, the
yeah,
knowledge that's out there. They've all seen it.
it's
That they hear the pigs in a gas chamber and they say that's in the third world country. No, it's the other way round. They haven't got the money to build gas chambers.
exactly, yeah,
I see that quite often. Well, if they don't kill them in gas chambers in the UK, tell us how they do it.
mm,
Go and watch the footage of the electrocutions and the bolt guns done on pigs. It's horrific.
yeah, it's horrendous.
And and like you've done in the last couple of videos, it is the base. It's basic decency just to be vegan.
Yeah, it's a
It's
moral,
not special. We're not special.
yeah,
It's we are as like. Would you congratulate someone for not kicking a dog? A dog walks by. Wow, well done, mate. You didn't kick that dog. That it's the same as that. To take it a little bit further, is congratulating your mate for not beating his wife up this week.
exactly,
It's what
exactly.
it's what's expected of a decent person
Mm.
is to just not hurt others
Not
at a
exploit
basic minimum.
because they're vulnerable and because they're defenseless. Like, imagine going
Yeah,
around congratulating people for not exploiting children or
yeah,
children. Like it's just the baseline. Like it's the absolute bare minimum that we should be doing. It's like a non-action. And then, you
yeah.
know, step up from that is speaking up about it. But if you think that you would speak up about if you think that you would speak up about human injustices, then
Yeah.
like just at least take yourself out of that participation of non-human animals because we're all animals, we're all the same in all the ways that it matters. So I'm just
Yeah.
wary of time, and I know that it's quite late for you, isn't it? So maybe we start
Yeah.
to.
Oh, it's all right. I'm getting warmed up for tomorrow. I'm going to meet all the trolls out tomorrow. I wonder who's coming.
Mindful of people who might potentially be in here, because there's still 27 people in here, but there might be people in here who haven't commented, who are open-minded. So, like we said earlier, go and watch Gary Yourofsky's with a Y. Gary Yourofsky's The Best Speech You Will Ever Hear on YouTube, and then also the next stage of that, or if you just wanted to go straight to Dominion and watch Dominion on YouTube, then also there's that documentary.
And Earthlings shows all Earthlings shows what most people are against. You know, the dog and cat meat trade, hunting, fur industry.
Does it?
You know, yeah. Look, the footage is old because it's about 20 years old, but nothing's changed in the industry. You can see what's going on. It's not all just the food animals. So Earthlings is Nazia actually. That's what changed Nazia.
Wow.
Nazia will still be here watching this. She couldn't wait before. She messaged me before. I can't wait. I'm nervous. So yeah, we love Nazia. She's a legend. She really is.
She's good.
And if we could see her now, she'd be blushing. So
yeah, well, might be the one. Earthlings could be the one, because I still need to create another. You know how we were talking about. I'm going to go and try and create another 3-minute documentary for the 3-minute movie challenge that I do with different exploitation industries. So the thing is, it just makes me feel a little bit anxious knowing that I have to watch it to actually create it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, and I will do it. I just be in the right headspace to do it.
You know when you've seen our footage with the upright portrait screen,
yeah,
and we're showing circus animals, horse and carriage, right? The girl that made that, or woman, Joanne, she's just amazing. She was doing that at home, and her and because it's all the animals that everybody loves, or most of them. Her sister who wasn't vegan, declared herself vegan while she was watching it with Joanne.
Wow, really? That's amazing.
So maybe if you're close enough and you want them that close, get a non-vegan to sit with you, and find all the footage that they're already against. Let's show them what they're already against.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is where I'm going with it, and what you've been doing is to talk about the industries. The non-vegans who are listening to this right now, even though you won't admit it on here, you are against trophy hunting, bullfighting, rodeos, kicking dogs, kicking cats. We know you are.
Yeah.
You're not psychopaths.
Yeah, exactly.
You're pretty decent people, and you're just a bit triggered. You think you're going to lose something. You're not losing anything. You're giving back. And the only things that humans need from animals is forgiveness. And the non-vegans out there listening to this, you know, like what is wrong with you? The education is there. You come up with stupidity that I got a shiny head, or we need protein, or it's just bollocks, and you know it.
There's a couple of get a jobs in here tonight.
Yeah, get a job. Yeah, I work 40 hours a week in the meat industry, in the steel industry. I'm looking at the word meat in the next comment. In the steel industry. I work very hard. Thank you very much.
What on earth does what my parents do? I don't like what my parents got to do with you exploiting animals or not exploiting animals. Like, it's just so random. Like, I don't even know how these people come up with this stuff. Like, imagine saying to somebody who's trying to stop human slavery, and you're somebody who's using a human slave, and then you go along to that person who's trying to abolish human slavery and go, excuse me, what do your parents do? Like, what relevance does that have to do with you exploiting individuals?
What job do you do? I had a guy a few weeks ago, he was just persistent on what job do you do. I said, what's that got to do with you exploiting animals?
So random, isn't it? Like, where do they get it?
So look, anybody there who's half open, you got the door open to being a better person. If you're against, literally in the old days, what we used to say, are you against cruelty to animals? Yes, of course you are. You know it's wrong. Just be consistent. That's all we did. That's all Emma and I did. We just practice our values.
Yeah.
It doesn't take willpower,
They're saying
you know.
of time that I have on my hands. So I don't watch TV. I don't like, I just spend my spare time fighting for justice for animals. But even if I didn't have a job at all, like even if I had no job, what difference does that make to you exploiting other animals? I have a full-time paper round, and I also wash cars part-time. And I walk.
And teach yoga. And teach yoga.
No, I don't teach yoga. I just have a paper round and I wash cars. This is what I've started to tell.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and pick up your dole check every fortnight.
Yeah, and that as well. Yeah, I sneak that in. I don't actually I don't tell anyone that I've got a full-time paper round.
But apparently, you know, we're all unemployed and we're all on, you know, government handouts. But apparently it's a first world privilege and very expensive to be vegan. So I don't know how the fuck we're doing it, you know, like
it's actually the cheapest. You know, like I worked it out, and I actually spend about 2 or 3 grand a year less now that I'm on a plant-based diet, because it's just
it cost me
bullshit that it costs more to be vegan or to live on a plant-based diet. Like how does it, rice, beans, lentils, all of those whole foods, it's actually cheaper to live on a whole foods plant diet.
I couldn't believe how much year I was saving from not kicking dogs. It was just astounding.
Someone else just said, so answer this question that's personal to you. Please explain the dogs and cats thriving on your provided vegan meals. There's 2 brands that I use. One of them sells plant-based cat food. The other one is sells the dog food. So I use both for my 2 dogs. So one's called Omni and one's called Benevo. One's like actually owned by a vet, and they've both been running for years and years and years. And now the consensus, the statistics, the studies say that cats and dogs are actually healthier on plant-based cat and dog food because of all the crap that gets put in. Like it's basically just scrapings off slaughterhouse floors that get put into the dog food. It's the leftover that, you know, so for example, the cows in the cow slave industry, as you say, so the dairy industry, that they are then murdered for their flesh, which gets made into cheap beef, so like burgers. Imagine not even that apparently lower quality beef flesh. It's the scrapings off the slaughterhouse floor of those animals that are used for dog and cat food. Like, to me, even if I wasn't vegan and hadn't connected with the animals, if I found that out, and even if I didn't give a shit about other species of animals, I would still have my dogs and cats on my dogs on plant-based dog food, because it's unethical to give them a food that decreases their health. So I hope that answers your question. There's a lot of people who are very much.
A couple of points.
This. Go on. Last
point. I'd like to bring up a couple of years ago, just out of it, because it's always a topic. Well, Dr. Andrew Knight? He's a veterinary science professor.
Yeah.
He started this 20 years ago. He broke all the rules, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's proved them all wrong.
Exactly.
But yeah, going to what I looked at a couple of years ago, I was in the supermarket, and you were just talking about the dog and cat food you buy in a tin is the scrapings off the floor. It will say on the tin, like, I'd like non-vegans to ask themselves, why would it say not for human consumption?
Exactly.
Right? Why can't you? Right. That's one point. But the other point is, if each tin, well, this was my own little study. I didn't spend much time on it, but this is what I saw.
Yeah.
Each tin of scrapings off the floor had exactly the same amount of nutrients in each tin. So how the hell do they manage to do that with a bunch of shit out of a bucket?
Oh God, yeah.
Each tin had, 100 grams of this, 20 grams of that. So how do you think they do that? They do it with synthetic supplements.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
So
the supplements in those
all,
well because it's
and
not.
all they're doing really is getting rid of the waste out of a slaughterhouse that they can't sell to humans through your dog and cat.
Oh God, that's why so many dogs and cats get cancer. Like it's actually proven
Like,
that dogs and cats on plant-based food get less cancer because it's also not guaranteed that that food doesn't contain euthanized dogs and cats as well. Because there's obviously lots of dogs and cats in shelters because of human exploitation that get put down every year. And if
all
it,
the antibiotics, all those things they put into the cows, pigs, chickens,
yeah,
it's going into their flesh that humans eat, but now your cat and dogs eating it too.
yeah, exactly. It's so gross.
So and like that, like what I just said there, that's only a theory of mine, but prove me wrong. It's
No,
a bit like
no.
I
Actually, factually does contain. They have to put
yeah
supplements in dog and cat food because
yeah
it wouldn't reach the nutritional
yeah.
standard cats actually have to
So
have.
all they're doing is getting rid of the shit,
Yeah,
and you are paying for it in a tin with a cute pussycat or a dog on it to get rid of their rubbish.
yeah,
It's waste.
yeah.
I don't, Emma. I'm not sure. I really don't know how much you've seen of my posts, but have you seen the pictures in my activism of the truck spill? It happened in Melbourne about 4 years ago.
I'll have a look. Not sure.
I'll send them to you if you want. Make a post out of them. But basically, a truck turning onto a major road, he's
Right.
taken the bend. He's gone through a set of lights, and,
Yeah.
and he's from a slaughterhouse. It's a
Oh,
slaughterhouse truck, and it's not animals. It's what's left, and the truck has tipped over, as we see happens with cow trucks and big trucks.
yeah.
This thing, because it was all wet, it's probably slopped, and it's gone over. And it was on the 6 o'clock news. Like I've had people saying you made it up. It's got the 6 o'clock news Channel 9 logo on the picture. That's where I stole it off their website. I saw it on the television today in Melbourne.
Oh,
Today in Melbourne, a truck spill, they called it. Animal remains.
Jesus. What? And you can see
Now,
all of what's in there.
it looks like ground up mince,
Yeah,
and the photograph is from a helicopter or a drone,
yeah,
right? 100 foot up.
yeah.
And I think on the I think I just zoomed in. Yeah, I took a couple, not screenshots. I saved the pictures of the website or screenshot, and then a friend of mine turned them into pictures, and she zoomed in on one of them, and it is just animal remains. And
That's
those two pictures, I put them in sequence, right? I put the long range shot first. People see that first, and they see the truck and the road, and it's got a headline: "Animal remains truck spill," and then immediately behind it, this is in an A board shape. Immediately behind it, as they're walking along, they see the zoom in of what's happened on the road. And those two pictures, I'll send them to you, Emma.
yeah. Do send me them. I'm intrigued to see.
I'll send them to you. But those two pictures, I
Yeah.
reckon I've had 20 to 25 successful conversations based on those two pictures.
Really, that's so good. What
They
is
are
it?
the
Street
the
outreach.
the people walking, but they're so gutted by. I mean, I explained that their money has paid for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
the remains of animals they've eaten. Those trucks leave slaughterhouses every day,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and this one spilled over,
yeah. It's so
and
great.
it's the guts, the offal. Maybe it's going. I had no idea where it's going, and I'd like to bring. I know you want to probably running out of time. I want to bring this one up for non-vegans to think about too. I cannot prove it right or wrong either way. See if someone can find out the truth, and that is when you buy I'll talk pounds. Let's say a sub 40,000 pound car, and you've got yourself a nice leather interior, as they says on the brochure. Whose skin is it?
Yeah.
In the old days, we just assumed it was cow skin and we accepted it,
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah. But now,
You're buying a Chinese, Korean, all these Asian cars. What do you think happens to all those cats, dogs, squirrels, possums?
exactly. Yeah, that's
They
true.
make every cent they can, every penny they can out of every animal they can. When you're buying a Kia or a BYD or whatever's popular over there, or even a Ford Fiesta with leather interior, do you really think you're sitting on premium cow skin when the bits are only this size? Same size as a Jack Russell. You're sitting on dogs and cats. You
Yeah.
go to your hardware store, what is it, B&Q? You buy $5, £5, £10 work gardening gloves. They're made of someone's skin. Do you
Yeah.
think that's the premium leather, cow leather, that goes in a Bentley? No, it came out of an Asian dog market.
There was the same scandal about, I think it was like fur jackets or fur coats. I'm sure this was exposed in Australia, and it turned out that it was dog and cat
Real
made
cat.
cat. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was only last year. It was last year or year before.
yeah,
George Purcell, she's the member of parliament for the Animal Justice Party in Victoria.
yeah,
It was reported to her. Somebody discovered, they were in some shop, probably a trinket shop or junk shop type thing,
yeah.
and they bought a fur item, and they liked it. They assumed it was fake,
So it was a
and
second-hand place.
no, sorry, Maura. I really don't know what type of store. There you go.
But yeah,
I'm just speculating. But it
jacket.
was in a store, in a mall. It was in a mall, so it would have been new. It wouldn't be a junk, not a junk shop, a trinket shop,
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Anyway, I don't know what the item was, but they've got it home, and it was confirmed it was real cat skin.
exactly.
So
So yeah,
Georgie Purcell right now is on a campaign in Victoria, because we've got different laws for different states. Victoria, hopefully by the end of this year, she is pushing for a ban on fur sales in Victoria so that there's no confusion.
yeah. Well, I guess because obviously she cares about all animals, but if you
Yeah.
have if you have to, I guess, use what works, because most people only care about cats and dogs not wearing cat and dog fur, for example, then I guess she has to kind of like play on that and use that
Yeah.
to the advantage of this is okay. So if you're not okay with dogs and cats fur being sold,
You're not
then shouldn't be.
you're not selling fox fur either, or mink,
Yeah, exactly.
or rabbit,
Yeah, yeah,
or coyote.
yeah. Right, should we leave it there? Thank
Yeah,
you.
all right. Yeah,
Nice chat. I'll try and take some snaps out of it at some point.
yeah.
I've got some work to do today, but yeah, thank you so much. So if there is
So
anyone, like I said, open-minded, go and watch Gary's speech on YouTube.
yeah.
Um,
Join
or-
Vegan Action Global. If you're vegan, you want to do some activism, contact us at Vegan Action Melbourne
yeah,
on Instagram. Vegan Action Melbourne.
yeah,
Global is our YouTube channel. You could message through there if you want to, but yeah, Vegan Action Melbourne will get you to me and my admin team. We can help you set up and just do your own thing. We'll just support you, mentor you in the Gary Rofsky style, the Emma Ruffley style. Tell it how it is.
yeah,
And let's leave non-vegans with the principle that they follow. They follow the unethical position that humans should exploit any non-human animal. That's
yeah,
where you are.
yeah, exactly.
That's what veganism isn't.
Yeah, that's
That's
your.
what veganism isn't.
You're not a meat eater. You're not a carnist. You're in an unethical position in
In
favour of
favor.
non-human animals. So hope you're proud with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Terry. Thank you so much. Have a nice sleep, and I'll probably speak to you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Have an outreach day tomorrow.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
More vegans in Melbourne this time tomorrow.
Yeah. See you all later. Thanks,
All
everyone.
right. Take
Bye.
care. Yeah, thanks.